So Heavy Hitters is a pretty straightforward set and an awesome one at that. But there is one card, down but not out, that is causing a fair amount of confusion. This confusion is compounded by the fact that the ruling on the card actually changed during the world premiere, and the release notes themselves have actually changed since original publishing. So in today's New Players and Old 2 series, we're explaining down but not out to help out headed into pre-release weekend. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends. Welcome back to Dice Commando, and go again, a fabulous cast here with another installment of the New Player and Old 2 series, where I strive to basically try and clarify confusing things to the best of my ability within the game. And one of those headed into pre-release weekend for Heavy Hitters is certainly down but not out. So the confusion around this, as I mentioned, is compounded around the fact that the card is written a certain way in proper English, works a slightly different way, but not only that, it actually was ruled one way originally and actually changed in pre-release weekend. I've got a bit of a story around that, which I will tell. If you don't want to listen to it, just fast forward a little bit. We'll get to it, right? But so I will go ahead and insert my video from my first takes on the cards right now.
So we have down but not out. So this is a 3/5. So it's a 3/5/4 full rainbow. It seems not good, but when this attacks a hero, if you have less health and control fewer equipment and tokens. So if you have less health and control fewer equipment and tokens, this gains +3 in overpower, and when this hits, create agility, might, and vigor. So I think the intent of this is that you have to control fewer equipment and control fewer tokens. But the way this is actually written is and control fewer equipment and tokens, meaning that you would say, like, say you controlled 3 tokens and 3 equipment, that would count as 6. That's how this actually reads. But I think the intent is less health, less equipment, and less tokens. But we'll have to wait for the release notes on that, and I'll put them up. That seems hard. If you have to do all 3, that seems hard. I mean, again, the way this is written, it actually basically sums the equipment and tokens together, but I don't think that's the intent.
Right. So with all that said, I suspected it worked a certain way, and then it actually got played against me during Celebrational, and I called a judge, and the judge ruled it the way that the release notes were actually written at the time, which was that you effectively summed the tokens and the equipment. However, I was getting ready on Friday morning in Queenstown to play the Celebrational, and they actually came on the loudspeaker and they announced the way the card played, and they said that you had to satisfy all 3 conditions, and I was like, wait a minute. Then I got on my phone and I looked at the pre-release notes, and they had actually changed at that point. So yes, what you see across the screen right now is the way that down but not out officially works. Now, I imagine this will be final. That's right. You can tell when you look at this card that it probably was originally designed to satisfy all 3 conditions. After talking with the designers, that was the intent. That's not the way it's actually written in proper English, but it doesn't matter. We have an official ruling, right? So you must satisfy all 3 conditions on the card. You must have less health, you must have fewer equipment, and you must have fewer tokens. Less tokens in play than them. You must satisfy all 3 conditions in order to play this as a 3 for 6 with overpower. And on hit, create a boatload of tokens, right? So it tracks. Pretty amazing card under certain conditions. Right? It's, your adrenaline rush is in the set too, does all sorts of things like that, right? So again, just to be very clear, you must satisfy all 3, right? If you're doing my coding thing that I tried to do before, it must be if less, and if less, and if less, okay? Must satisfy all 3. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, wipe the hands, done. Doesn't matter what it reads today. It doesn't matter how the card reads. We know what the ruling is, which is you must satisfy all 3 conditions. That's the way it is. So anyway, hopefully this short and sweet video helped clarify it for you. If nothing else, folks, go Commando.